going on at City Kids. So City Kids, we are running currently programming for about 2,000 kids in downtown Hamilton, and also actually on the mountain as well. We are servicing one neighborhood, and that's where my family spends a lot of time. So those 2,000 children get a chance to feel a little of Todd's enthusiasm, which Todd gets, of course, from God's love. So that's something really special. Now, of these 2,000 children, I would say 1,200 of them come to our Saturday shows. You may have had a chance to visit us at the Playhouse Theatre on Sherman or at the new theater at 601 Burlington. That's where our kids come on a Saturday for songs and stories and a whole lot of love from a whole lot of volunteers. So that works out to be about 25,000 meals a year are served to kids who may or may not have had a chance to have a meal. They come join us, share together with us, and that works out to 86,000 home visits, because every child that is connected to City Kids has somebody come and visit them on a weekly basis throughout the entire year. Now, that can't be done by one person. Right? Todd just cannot serve 25,000 meals or make 86,000 visits, no matter how hard he tries. So he's had the opportunity to share his dream and his project with a lot of people, and that's kind of where people like our family come in. We've had the opportunity to join the team of about 500 volunteers. And these 500 volunteers, They donate their time. Some it's an hour, some it's 5 hours, some of it's all week. We actually have people in our office, retired people who spend 40 hours a week sharing God's love with the staff and with the other volunteers, but most of all with the kids. So we're really glad for that. That is really God's hand working. So this season, Kinder Kids and City Kids, we're going to be exploring God's love, that God has made us special, and that God has a plan. Sometimes when money is tight, or food is tight, or lodging is very transient, we lose sight of the fact that, God is in control of everything. But we're going to share that story with the kids. City Youth, which is our program for 12 to 15-year-olds, they're going to be looking at questions of what if? What if I could show love to everyone? What if there was no bullying? What if there was no limits to my education? And we're hoping through our mentors, which meet with them every Wednesday night, that they can take hold of the world and know that God does give us what ifs, and he gives us solutions. And that leads us to the last of our programs. We've started when they're 3, graduated them up to their 15. And one of the newer programs that you may not have heard about is our Roadmaps program, which is for 16 to 18-year-olds, where our youth who have been through the program get a chance to meet one-on-one with mentors and put what they've learned into practice. So they get to learn life skills. They get to learn interview skills, how to write a resume, how to take a project, how to take one of their ideas and make it a dream. I mean, what better example to follow than Todd's when he took this idea to reach one child and he shared it and grew it. That's what we want to encourage our Roadmaps kids to do. In fact, one of our Roadmaps graduates, or soon-to-be graduates, was just awarded the Volunteer of the Year award from the City of Hamilton. He's been through the City Kids program, and he was honored. He's also received 2 scholarships. And we were able to, as City Kids, thanks to generosity of all our supporters, scholarships to other of our youth. So now that there is nothing standing in their way for being able to take all of the messages they've received over the years and share it. So that's a lot of love happening on Saturdays, and it's a lot of love happening from a lot of different people. And going through all of the different lessons that Todd has given us, Todd continues to support our staff, and this year his theme was to go deeper. So it's great that we can meet 2,000 children, and we know their names, but now he wants to challenge all of us to go deeper, to know not just their names, but what they like, what they enjoy, who God made them to be. And when we do that, we can include them in our family, our City Kids family. So I was going through some different passages from Paul's letter to the Corinthians, and chapter 13 talks about love, right? Even on the wall, extravagant love. Chapter 13 is filled with love, but chapter 12 also has something really special. And I just want to read a few verses for you. So chapter 12, verse 1 is, "Brothers and sisters, I want you to know about the gifts of the Holy Spirit. There are different kinds of gifts, but they're all given to believers by the same Spirit. There are different ways to serve, but they all come from the same Lord. There are different ways the Spirit works, but the same God is working in all these ways and in all people. The Holy Spirit is given to each of us in a special way. That's for the good of all." And then it continues with, "There is one body, but it has many parts. But all its many parts make up one body. It is the same with Christ. We were all baptized by one Holy Spirit, and so we are formed into one body. Didn't matter whether we were Jews or Gentiles, slaves or free people. We were all given the same Spirit to drink. So the body is not made up of just one part. It has many parts." City Kids looks like that kind of a family. There are lots of people with different talents and gifts, and each one has a desire to share love. So we have administrators in the office. Can't run anything without someone who's keeping track of the paperwork, who's keeping track of money. That's our fund development department. We have a program department, and the program department writes curriculum. They provide different opportunities for children through our Gift of Christmas, which you may have heard of, and our summer camps. That's run by our program department. And we have our volunteer department, which gets wonderful people like you and other members from other churches to come on out and join our team. So all of those are different people, different places, different things to do. So I thought I have 2 little video clips of different jobs, different volunteer opportunities at City Kids. The first one I think is Tom. Do we have Tom's? So you can see this video for a minute.
My name's Tom Bush. I'm the funeral director in Stony Creek at a funeral home there, and I'm a volunteer bus driver here at City Kids. Just after we started the new theater here on Burlington Street for the kinder kids, and we opened it up, and the one little girl got off the bus and was very impressed at how it was set up for them, and I said it was all for you guys. Nobody else, just for you guys, and well, her eyes lit up. That's what is very intriguing to me. I think they feel that somebody's caring about them. They may have had the worst possible week up until this morning, and that's what helps them get through the weekend and the next week until they come back again. You have to come out and get the excitement. You have to feel it in the theater and see it on the buses, and it's worth half a day of your life to do that.
That's our friend Tom. Tom is a wonderful bus driver, and there's something special. The way the bus routes work is most of our bus drivers get a chance to come and spend time at the Kinder Kids Theater, which is what was pictured there. You could see us all dressed up on stage. That's where you find me on Saturdays, and you also find my son Derek. He's also on stage as my co-host. So we get a chance to reach the kids. That's about 250 kids. As they leave the theater on a Saturday, we get to, that number bump, check the number to make sure they're going on the right bus, but 250 kids on a Saturday. And it's phenomenal that we get to touch their lives for just that couple minutes, and to realize we're turning them over to the bus drivers. And the bus drivers develop special relationships with their kids. You may get a chance later on to talk to Mike, who is the bus driver for our Route 24-1, and the number of kids who know that that's bus driver Mike. Now, it helps that he's also story reader Mike on stage. We get him to read the kids' stories. But there's that bond that happens, and the kids know that, when bus driver Mike comes, they get to ride the big red bus, come down the mountain. As Missy says, they get very excited coming down the mountain because they get to see the ocean. Kids who live on the mountain coming over the escarpment, they see the lake, and that's the ocean. So it's really something special to see their child, that wonder that they have for the whole program. So we're really excited that they are there. And as well, we have our captains, and this is Kat, and she has a route downtown here.
My name's Kat Voss. I'm a student at the University of Waterloo. At City Kids, I am a bus captain on Saturdays, and I also mentor on Wednesday night for City Youth. On one of my first bus routes, I picked up some kids from an apartment building, and one of the kids came on the bus, and he was so excited because his mom had gotten money that week, and so I asked him what they were going to do, and he was just simply like, this week mom's going to be able to buy us food. And for me, that was like the moment where I was just like, wow, like this is real. City Kids is fantastic. It's made a difference in my life. It's an awesome opportunity to just be part of your city and to be able to impact a child's life, because not every child out there knows that they're loved and that they're special, and you can be that person to that kid. You could be everything.
That's the relationship every captain has the opportunity to have with their kids. Some captains have about 30 kids. Some captains have about 50 kids. Some captains are even up around 100 kids on their list, which means that's 100 kids that they go to their homes once a week to say is, hi, how are you? I thought of you this week. It's a personal touch, a personal connection, a personal shower of love. But with all of these volunteers, these 500 volunteers, we have 20 staff, we have a board, none of it would be possible without you, without our supporting family. Our supporting family who supports us, one way is financially. I mean, I'm supposed to make sure that I don't forget to ask for your donations because they're important, whether it's through collections like we'll be having today, or whether it's through sponsoring a child, but also through your prayers. I mean, that's something that doesn't really cost us anything, but it's a great outpouring of love. To know that all of the work we do on a Saturday, all of the work we do on a Wednesday, all of the activities that are planned through the summer and around Christmas time are all bolstered by loving prayers that our God hears, right? He promises if we ask that he will give. So we thank you. We encourage you to continue in that mission of prayer. And if you're able to continue with your mission of financial support, and if you're adventurous, join us on a Saturday. Come and see what City Kids is live and in person, right? It was, when we were introduced to this church, we were told that it was loud. And I'm afraid it's not anything compared to a City Kids Saturday, which is even louder and even more raucous. Anyone who's been to City Kids knows that even the kinder kids can be very loud on a Saturday. So we invite you to join us. We invite you to join us, yes, financially, as a prayer partner, but also as a volunteer. And we have many volunteers I want to share with children. We have many volunteers who, I don't like kids. We need them anyway. We need them as administrators. We need them as our food prep people. We need them as our fundraisers. And it's an amazing family that God has built through the dream of Todd and you as a congregation who encouraged him and just let him thoroughly begin on his trajectory to start, right? This is the place where it started. And to see that God has grown it, God has increased it, God has poured into this, and it's still growing, right? There's enormous plans coming up, plans to expand theaters, plan to expand programming. And we are thankful that we have churches like you and that you gave us the opportunity. So we're looking forward to staying for coffee. So if you have any questions about Kinder Kids, about being on stage, about being a captain, about being a bus driver, about, seeing a tour, we'd be more than happy to share with you. And thank you again for giving us the privilege of being here to share with you today.